Been a busy weekend this weekend. Had to go and see my granddad. He got himself into a terrible state. He was really worried that the doctors who had fitted him with his new colostomy bag were laughing at him. I told him not to worry. Those sort of doctors, they can take the piss. Another bit of good news this week. At the age of 42, I've got my very first ever underwear modelling contract. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am the new face of Tenor Man 2013. I used to go out with a model. Well, I say model. Once she was inflated, there wasn't much more assembly actually required. When I was a blind girl, she dumped me. Told me something didn't feel right. When I was a girl with a foot fetish, I had to end it. Turns out I'm lactose intolerant. When I was a teacher, in the end the age gap was too much. At least that's what the police told her. Then I got in a nightclub, went back to her house, shagged her leg, bit my bollocks, and went out and did a crap in her garden. She wanted it doggy style. As I get older, I try to look after myself a bit more, as you can probably see. I look after my diet. After all, cows eat grass. Therefore, milk and beef, they're made of grass. Therefore, a cheeseburger is 2 of my 5 a day. I gave up drugs. I started having these terrible hallucinations that I was being chased by a pack of giant fat dogs. Turned out I'd been smoking K9 Abyss. My wife suggested I try Viagra to improve my sex life. And was I to know she meant my sex life with her. To be fair, she tells me I'm hung like a horse, but actually she tells me I'm hung like a My Little Pony. It's very similar. As I got older, I've managed to move down to the countryside. I actually grew up in a very rough part of London. I was actually mugged so often I got my very own loyalty card from the local gang. It was a club card after what used to beat me for the money. What have I done? Lots of stuff. I applied for the X Factor recently. I was told by my friends the only way I was going to succeed was if I had a truly tragic story to take with me. So I went out and bought a copy of Bambi on DVD. Thought I'd write a book. It was about 2 ancient Egyptians who had weird and wild, sadomasochistic sex. But apparently that's not the sort of mummy porn people are after at the moment. The other thing I found about getting older is I've been able to afford a much better house, obviously, down in the countryside. Actually, I bought my house for its fantastic views. Basically, the air stewardesses over the road never close their bedroom curtains. The thing about buying a new house is DIY. Last week I had a few bits and pieces to do, so I rang the local Wicks to see whether they had stuff in stock. All I'm saying is, if you call someone and ask them, have you got a 6-inch flan and a large toolbox, make sure you get the right phone number. I'm not very good with IKEA furniture either. I never understand the instructions. Last time I bought something from there in frustration, I thought I'd try the Arabic version of the instructions. Wound up building a suicide sofa. Last time I bought a bookcase from IKEA, it took me 3 days to build. I wound up with repetitive stress injury in my right wrist from turning all those little screws. At least that's the story I told my wife. They say health and safety has gone mad. And I say no, health and safety is just common sense. If you're a window cleaner, don't step back and admire your work. The weirdest health and safety sign I ever saw was in Florida, on one of those little look-fling things. And it basically said, before you go on this ride, make sure all your artificial limbs are securely fastened. I would have loved to have seen the end-of-ride photograph that would have inspired that. Guy in the front, fuck. Guy in the back, oof. Finally, I'd just like to say that the finalists of the Panto Dwarf 2012 competition have been announced. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a short list. Thank you, you've been fantastic. My name's Good night.